broke that one though.
Technical difficulties.
It's gonna move.
I'll say hold it.
Huh?
Like in the middle.
Hold it in the middle?
You can get it stuck there.
Nah, just hold it.
You think it hears? All the noise on my tires make?
With all the wind. I don't know.
Oh, there. I remember those ones.
It's hot.
Alright. So, let's share our testimony with you. A beautiful, beautiful day that we had at Elevation Worship. If you guys have me on Facebook, and I don't think I posted on Instagram, but if you guys have me on Facebook or Daisy, because I shared it with her, I posted something about how I was meant to not buy the Virginia tickets because we drove to Washington to listen to Elevation Worship and to listen
It'll
to
be
the
here
words
because this
of
guy's on your ass.
Mr. Stephen
Burdick.
Preach, which he wasn't gonna do in Virginia. So Elevation Worship is going on a tour, and
Oh, they finished last night. I think was with us.
sweet, awesome. Congratulations to them. Very beautiful band. So Elevation Worship was scheduled to be in Virginia, Norfolk, where we live.
On Monday, the 21st.
Monday. On a Monday. I think so, yeah. Yeah, I had meeting. No, I didn't have meeting. But anyway. But Daisy and I waited till the last second to buy the tickets. Literally, the moment that I pressed purchase tickets, it took me into a different link that said, sorry, we ran out. When I first got into the website, it said, I believe, 3 or 4 tickets were left. So we missed it, and Daisy was a little sad, and I was a little sad too. But then I just kept scrolling and searching, and it said that they were performing in Washington. And I really didn't, at first I was like, oh, I don't want to go all the way over there, but something told me that I had to take Daisy there. And some of you will understand that feeling, some of you won't, that's fine. But I just felt like I had to go, that I had to take her. I felt like I had to take my wife to see them. I felt it. So I bought the tickets. I didn't even tell you about them, right? I just kind of surprised you like a few days later.
Yeah, you told me after.
Well, I wasn't even going to tell her. I wasn't going to tell her till the day of, because I wanted to surprise you. The reason I told you was because I started panicking. When I purchased them, it took me to something different because it wasn't part of the tour. It was a whole different show called The Awakening Tour. It was not the Elevation Worship Tour. So they were gonna do like a pit stop in Washington, put their tour aside, and do their concert for a conference. It's a conference that they do every year called Awakening Tour, where they invite, people to preach and bands and
to worship, yeah.
To worship, all
that jazz.
So I started panicking because when I read the word conference, I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a meeting of people. Maybe they're just meeting. Maybe I felt it wasn't gonna be a concert, so I started panicking. So that's why I told her.
Yeah.
But I asked her if it was okay, if she still wanted to go. She said, sure, let's go. So we ended up driving after work. I got out of work, right? I literally got out of work.
We got out and we left.
So we were in a hurry getting out of work. And we left. And we get there. It was freezing cold.
Real cold.
Daisy and I really had to go use the restroom.
Yeah.
And I had a parking ticket, but if you go to Washington, you can't really just park on the street. You have to go into like a parking garage.
I mean, you can park on the street. There's like the parking meters.
Yes, but it kind of sucks in Washington. No offense, Washington, great city. Sorry. So anyway, we got there super early. We couldn't park till 6. So we waited till 6 to park. So we ended up getting there. We sat fairly close. It was great. Are you gonna put some clips?
Sure.
We'll try to put some pictures, maybe. So yeah, I thought we were gonna sit pretty far, but it turned out that it was general admission.
So you could sit like
so you can sit wherever.
In certain areas.
We ended up sitting way closer. started. And it turned out that, you know, it was actually kind of like a concert.
Yeah, Elevation Worship.
So first, this guy, the guy in charge of the tour, came up. We prayed for being there. We prayed, you know, that we felt his presence. We prayed that we were gonna be all there, all together.
Just
that we were
praising
all
his
brothers
name.
and sisters,
Yeah.
and that tonight we were gonna, you know, be one with God. And then Elevation Worship came on, and they sang all of Daisy's favorite songs, and it was great. It was a great feeling.
Yeah.
We both kind of teared up a little. Well, I know you cried.
I cried in a couple
I teared up a little.
because you can feel God's presence.
You really can. I felt it, and it had been a while. I'm not gonna lie, it had been a while
Since you
that
felt
I
His
felt
presence.
it. I really had it. I felt bad for that. I felt upset at myself, and I think that's where it started to feel like, okay, I think I was meant to be here in this one, in the Washington one. So after they come on, man, all these rocks. It's Mr. Stevens' turn to preach, and me and Daisy, sad to say and upset to say that we hadn't been to church in a little while. He started preaching about how to come back home, how to come back to the home of the Lord, how God uses even the people who think are not enough for His words and for his work. And I started feeling like, okay, you know, yeah, I was meant to be here. Like this, it just started feeling stronger and stronger. The feeling started feeling, you know, bigger. It was beautiful. And then he's done. And again, I can't remember his name. The guy who was in charge of the tour. But he comes on, he brings on another pastor. And they start preaching, and then they said, well, you know, before we leave, we want to pray
for healing.
Can I ask?
I'm just saying, because when he said healing, I thought of my grandparents.
Yes, well, there you go. We'll see, that's your testimony now. That's yours. So Daisy, do you want to share that about your grandparents? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, so that week, my grandma from my dad's mom, and then my mom's dad, on the same day, or like within like this, something like that. It was on that
It was
week.
on the same day.
It was on the same day. That's right, because you were on duty when I got those news. It was on the same day. They both were admitted into the hospital, and being in Virginia, it's difficult for me to hear those news and then just be worrying, like wondering what's gonna happen, what's going on, like do I have to fly back home? But thank God that they're both okay, they're both back home. So like I was saying, towards the end of the concert,
I was saying it.
okay, but what Ray was saying, towards the end of the concert, both pastors came up and were gonna say, okay, to conclude, like we're gonna have a prayer for healing. So when he said that, in my head I was like, okay, I'm gonna pray for my grandparents' healing, that, you know, cover them with God's blood or Jesus' blood and have them be healed. But then he said, what did he say, babe?
My turn.
Okay,
This
I'm
is where I
putting on
started.
you.
This is where I was like, oh my God, hallelujah. He is here. He is
He is
with
listening.
us. But then they said, first things first. Now, all of you know, or most of you know, that Daisy and I are trying. We're trying for our family to grow. We're trying to have children. We've already even picked out a name for our daughter. Even my parents-in-law have changed their passwords. Just their Wi-Fi. Don't try using their password. Anyway, they've changed their password to our daughter's name. And the first thing they said was, we want to pray for your wombs to be open. When they said that, I looked at Daisy.
We looked at each other because I looked at
Yes.
you.
And I kind of started crying. Not gonna lie. Because it just felt real. It felt like we were all there as one, like they said. We were all there with the Lord.
Careful.
He was definitely there. And it felt like they were speaking to us. Not them, or yes, them, but through Him. And I don't know, I started getting chills. They prayed. It was amazing. We all prayed. And I don't know, like I just feel different. I feel different. I feel less worried. I feel like I need to let it be in His terms, on His time.
Well, I've always known that.
And yes, but you know,
But it was more like of a confirmation.
Time-wise, yes, I've always felt a little impatient.
Oh yeah.
I've always been an impatient guy with anything. But I don't know, when that happened, it all went away,
Yeah.
and it felt right.
Because I think you got, like I said, that confirmation. You know that God's listening to you. That He
Yes.
knows what your heart desires,
Yes.
and He's just saying, "Okay, now leave it up to me." You
Yes.
know. That's what I got.
Yes. So I just want to say thank you to the people of Awakening Tour. Thank you to Elevation Worship. Thank you to Mr. Steven.
For Jake,
I don't want to mess up your last name. Go check him out on YouTube and on Instagram, because I think he's one of my favorites, or he is my favorite to listen to, because he always makes it. I'm not the best with the Bible and with understanding his like words, but he always makes it simple for me to understand. And so yeah,
Not necessarily simple. It's just He breaks it down for you.
yes, he does, and he does it very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys, or we wanted to share that with you guys.
It's a good testimony, babe.
It just felt great. I felt different afterwards.
Yeah.
It was really funny too, because right after my car died, our battery died,
Yeah.
but I fixed it. It was okay. And we headed home, and I almost fell asleep driving.
So I took over.
So my wife took over, and yeah, it was amazing. It was great.
It was real great.
And now we're gonna go see Kane Brown.
Yeah. So that should be fun.